And we're back with our special Straight Shooting the Gun debate.
No matter what side of the discussion you're on, it is a hot topic in our society, and lawmakers are considering varying degrees of restrictions to deal with gun violence.
Here's Teresa Weekly with an update on legislation in Michigan.
Marley and Brian, one thing that we know will happen this year is the state will get millions more to improve security. The legislature voted unanimously last month to pass a more than $18 million supplemental budget for state police security grants. One will give teachers the ability to press a button to let police know about a threat. There will also be more money for the OK to Say program and mental health services for students and their families. Now, that's all a done deal. As for what else could happen, there are a number of bills in committee right now that have been introduced in the last few months. These are two bills Democrats introduced. One of them would expand universal criminal background checks to cover all firearm sales, including long guns, which would close the private sale loophole. The other is known as the Red Flag Law. The Extreme Risk Protection Order Act would let courts order police to take a person's guns if there's reasonable cause that the person poses a significant risk to themselves or others. Back now with our guests, Jack Hoffman and Paul Ledford. How effective would those proposals be, Paul, if they were able to pass at some point, which at this point they're in the very beginning stages, I know, but as we look at the Red Flag Law, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me pull out my crystal ball here and look into it a moment. I don't know what the effect would, or what the effectiveness would be. I mean, I have a number of different concerns with that in just the brief review that I've had of it. One of them is the possibility for abuse by people who would want to use it against someone else. I mean, we see a lot of times in some of the divorce cases where right now personal protection orders are taken out, whether they actually need to be or not. That would be one of my big concerns with this one. But another huge concern from a civil rights perspective is that the way that the law is written, and maybe this is a matter of just changing the way that the law is done, but the way the law is written is it takes property from an individual without that person's right to dispute it before the property is taken. So we have a due process issue, a major due process issue there.
Okay. What is your response to that, Jack?
Let's deal with this immediate issue. We have personal protection orders in the domestic relations field that has worked. You know, in any situation like this, there's going to be a tension between minority rights and the common good. But I guess my perspective is let's err on this side, on the side of the common good, because I do believe that the issue of the Second Amendment right to a gun is pretty much inflated, I guess I would say. So let's move into the area and try and make a difference.
I did hear from law enforcement what they think about this red flag proposal, and I'll let you know coming up how you can hear more about that through Wood TV 8. That's after the break.